To Disc Golf Valley. I'm here to do a tutorial over this game and hopefully more in the future, but for starters, let's jump into Disc Golf Valley and see what we have going on here. To start off with, we're going to settings. There's a few things I want to adjust so that it's more comfortable for me. For one, I like to read things in feet, units in feet instead of meters, and then I want to always skip the whole preview. I have played this before and I don't want to see the preview. However, if you're new to the game and want to see it, that is totally cool. And then we're going to create a new name, and this is going to be a name I have used for a long time in many other games. Don't laugh, but there was definitely some World of Warcraft behind that name. So let's get started and let's see what we can do in Disc Golf Valley. Jump into player profile, show you that I am level 0, which is totally cool. And division is recreational. My discs acquired are 2 because you start off with 2, and I have no aces, eagles, or albatrosses, and nothing else. And you can see that I have no rounds rated so far. We're going to jump into play. There's a few different varieties of this game that you can play. The one we're going to do today is Challenge the Valley. However, there are tournaments, recreational, intermediate, and advanced, that are also beneficial. One of the coolest parts of the game is the Pro Tour, and we'll jump into that in a later episode. But I highly recommend, before you jump into the Pro Tour, get a little practice under your belt. However, you will rank somewhere in the thousands because that's how many people are playing, and you'll receive some points for ranking, but it will be tough. Practice is here. Honestly, practice is okay, but challenging the valley is where you're going to get the bulk of your practice. So it's not absolutely necessary and not the most helpful of things in the game right now. Play with friends is pretty cool. I have some friends that have also played the game and we've jumped into rounds together. There is no way to make your friends easily selectable. So unfortunately, the only way to start a game with your friends is to start a round, get a code, and text that code to them so they can also jump in. Maybe in the future we'll see some adaptation to make it so you can have a friends list and then challenge people and they can jump in whenever they have availability. And one of the most frequently used options is multiplayer. That one's really fun because it's 9 random holes throughout the entire Disc Golf Valley, and that is where you can get some serious points built up to actually acquire discs. Every time you go up a level, which one level is 1,000 points, you get a choice of 1 free disc out of 3. Anyways, we're going to challenge the valley today, and we have not challenged anything, so we can only play the first level, which is Sunshine Glade. We're going to select that and play the course, and let's see how we do. Now, you do start off with 2 discs. If you look in your disc golf bag, you have a dagger, which is beat up, and that's your putter, and you have a compass, which is also beat up, and that's your mid-range. We're going to use those 2 and see how we can do on this course here. I'm going to select out of it. There we go. All right, we've got the compass selected. We're just going to go ahead and use what they recommend here. Now, you're going to have the option to select backhand, forehand, or putt. We're going to stick to the backhand. Over to your right, you can see that there is a wind meter, and currently there's a 1 mile an hour left to right wind. And then there's an option to shift on the tee pad. We're just going to stick it to the middle for right now. And then the target down here allows you to shoot high, low, left, right. We're going to shoot straight and keep that bottom arrow out there right in the center of the basket. Now to shoot, you're going to take the disc and pull it back just like that. The reader is about, I want to say 60 feet, 120 feet, 180 feet, but it's not exact. You just have to get used to your disc and how you're comfortable throwing them. We're going to start off here, hole 1, par 3. So far we have 0 strokes and it's 199 feet. I'm just going to take this thing, rear it back, and we'll let off a little bit. And let's see if we can get pretty close to this basket. I'm going to tilt the disc a little bit to the left and not far enough to the left, and I shot too far, but that's okay because I think we're within range where we'll be able to throw in our first putt. That is a new long drive, and that's always cool to see. So we'll move to the next lie. Select that beat up dagger. Now this is where you have a couple options. You can have the standard putting style, which means you're going to select the disc, pull back, and then swoosh it up, basically. Or some people like to choose the backhand style and just throw like you would on a drive. We're going to go ahead and stick to the putting style because that's what I like best. So we'll take this dagger here. We'll see if we can do this. Boom. Birdie number 1 and a longest putt. Like I said, always nice to see. So Sunshine Glade is only 5 holes. We have 1 birdie, 4 more to go. Let's see if we can do it. Next hole, hole 2, par 3, 269 feet. That compass is our longest flying disc, so we're going to stick to that. I'm going to shift a little to the right just because we have that right to left wind. And when I pull the disc back, instead of straight forward, I'm going to tilt it to the left. This is what we like to call anhyzer. That's going to make the disc start out going to the right, but it will always dump back left if you are a right-handed thrower, which you are as a default. There is a setting to be lefty, but in default you are right-hand. If I swung it over here, it would be what's called a hyzer. That means the disc is going to finish harder to the left. The spin of the disc is going to make it go harder to the left, whereas this one's going to make it start out to the right and then come back left. So we're going to put a little bit here. This would be straight back. We're going to tilt it just a little bit and see if we can't get this thing right next to the basket. There's the flight. Just not enough distance, but I think that's just because the disc isn't long enough to get to that basket yet. Pretty good though. I think we should be able to tap this dagger in here, our putter, for birdie number 2. There we go. Nice. All right, 2 down, 3 to go. This is hole 3. This is one of my favorite holes. I like to switch to the backhand here, and typically I'll use a putter, but later on we'll get some better putters and it'll make it easier. We're going to stick to the compass for now. Got a little bit of a left to right wind, so I'm going to pretty much throw straight at it. 246 feet, hole 3, par 3. Let's just let her rip, see what happens. Oh, that was pretty close. I'm pretty happy with that. New long drive, that's not a surprise. Almost had it, but no big deal. We'll see an ace down the road. I'm almost positive. We're going to take this dagger and see if we can't get our 3rd. Yes, we can. Birdie in a row. Nice birdie. All right, there's 3 in a row, fellas. Let's get 2 more, and we'll call it a day. Here we go. Hole 4, par 3, 243 feet. We're going to stick to that compass. It's pretty trustworthy so far, and we haven't gotten to a point where we can throw a putter that far yet, but don't worry, we will soon. It is nice on this hole because there's a valley you're actually throwing over, so hence a disc golf valley. We're going to try to nail this one pretty straight on, so I'm going to tilt it a little bit anhyzer just in case. Not a whole lot, just because the wind was already pushing that way. Should have done a little bit more. That's all right. I put it pretty close to the basket, and I know I'm within my range to hit this putt. Boom, there we go. Number 4 in a row. That's pretty good starting out. These are old beat up discs that you just borrowed from your friend. You're out here playing the course for the first time. 4 under is pretty darn good. This hole is so much fun. Hole 5, par 4, the first par 4 we've seen at 495 feet. Once we get some fairway and distance drivers, this hole is going to be fun. There is a really cool shot right over that hill, but we'll have to wait till we get some pretty sweet discs for that. For now, we're just going to try to chuck it as far as we can down the valley. I'm going to really tilt some anhyzer on this to get a full flight if possible out of it. Plus the wind was left to right. That's going to help out. Boom, right there. Okay. It's going to be really difficult to get a birdie on this one, only because I don't think I can make it across that little gulch there, and I don't know if I want to try. We're going to just a nice little baby throw right up to the edge. There we go. See, we didn't pull it all the way back like we have been, and so it didn't throw as far. And that's a nice speed control. I like that. 185 feet left to the basket. That's always nice to see. I think we can throw this dagger with a little bit of anhyzer at the basket, and we'll get pretty close. All right, yeah, we can definitely make that. It won't get us the birdie, unfortunately, but it will get us the par. and that is going to bring us a nice reward. We did 4 under on the first 5 holes ever of Disc Golf Valley at Sunshine Glade. We're going to finish the round. The nice thing about challenging the Valley is for every course, every star gives you 1 disc. And since we were able to accomplish 2 stars, and I'll show you how we did that in a second, we get 2 new discs. We get a dagger that is sticky, which means if it hits the chains, it's going to stay in there for the most part, and a compass that's not beat up. So it's going to be a little bit more stable, and it's going to be able to fly a little bit more true to what it's supposed to. Thank you for the disc. Now, if you look at the screen here for Sunshine Glade, par 16 at the bottom left there, our new best is 12. So we shot 12 shots total. The first star we had to shoot 26. The second shot we had to shoot 16. And the third shot we were supposed to shoot 11. We were 1 birdie away from getting that 3rd star right off the bat. But I don't know if we're going to be able to do that with these beat up discs, just because that last hole is pretty beefy. So, guys, I hope you really enjoyed this video. I know there are some others out there about Disc Golf Valley, and they are awesome. I love watching them myself. I just hope that you get something out of this. If it's entertainment, if it's learning, whichever it is, there's a nice notification. I really hope you get something out of this. I hope that you all like it. If you do like it, please hit the thumbs up at the bottom. And if you have any comments about how I'm playing or what you would like to see in the future, please put a comment down in the comment section, because I would love to have some ideas on what you all would like to see. Otherwise, I'm going to keep challenging the Valley. I'm going to keep acquiring discs, and we're going to keep moving on up. And as soon as we get to a point where I feel like we can really start challenging, we're going to jump into some multiplayer battles, and we're also going to jump into some Pro Tour stops. Free experience is awesome. New discs are awesome. And eventually we get to a point where we're going to be challenging for the top spot in this game. Again, I hope you all enjoyed this. Please let me know what you thought of this. And I will see you next time for part 2 of Disc Golf Valley. Thank you very much. And I'm out.